Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel James 13 Wicca in case you're seeing it somewhere else. The decks and dice I'm using are going to be listed below. And of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's also below. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into your choice. Thank you. Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Aries? Justice card at the top. There has been conflict. The information's coming in pretty quick. There has been conflict before. There's a lot. There's a moment coming up that's going to be a little itchy scratchy, but I feel like what they're saying is like, if you're ahead of the game on this one, ultimately you can get what you need from it. How far do we gotta go? Got a lot of oracle cards here that keep coming too. That's fine. A lot of oracle cards coming in. There's been conflict before. There has been. I don't feel like Aries is like foreign to conflict. Like it happens. It happens, right? What is that? The 13? Is that the death card? Yep, the death card. And then the 4 of Cups. Conflict in the past. So the conflict in the past with the death card is kind of like, I feel like you've had a conflict with somebody and you didn't like it and it just lingers there. It's kind of like maybe we solved that conflict. Maybe I said what I needed to say. They said what they needed to say. But since that conflict, you feel the way you feel about certain people. You might keep it more private, more strategic, especially if it's a work situation. There may be a conflict in the past where you don't think things worked out correctly, and technically you work comfortably together. I don't think that's the right word. Like, you can play nice. Let's do that. You play nice, but you don't really care for this person, but you don't really seem to highlight that, because especially if it's a work environment. Okay. You're trying to do what's right. You're trying to be strategic. But there's whatever this conflict is from the past, there's unresolved feelings from that. Those unresolved feelings are going to bleed into the future, because I feel like you already don't really like somebody. So it doesn't take much for you to not really be very happy with them, because they're already like, you already really don't like them that much to begin with. So they're trying to give you a heads up about what's coming forward, because currently I do seem to kind of like try to stay out of their business. I just try to play nice. I try to do what I'm supposed to do, and I just don't get too involved. But the history of this situation always lingers there, and it's just something that's always there. And it's like, people don't seem to realize how I really feel, and I don't think that I want them to, but I feel the way I feel, and it's set up the way it's set up. And, when you have a feeling about somebody, you feel the way you feel. I keep getting that, like, yeah, they've already shown me who they are, and I didn't really like it. I don't see what's coming next, and I feel like I have things under control. They're trying to give you a heads up. They're trying to give you the advantage here, because you don't see what's coming next, and you feel like things are fine. Like, I have control. I have it where I want it. This curveball coming in is going to throw you off. So they're trying to give you a heads up so you actually can have more of an advantage going forward. That's the whole point of this reading, if it starts really hitting. Something comes forward, and there's a problem that comes forward. This energy is not a bad energy, but it doesn't match you. And they're making a decision to step away from something and not handle something that maybe needs to be handled. For some reason, this energy, this Queen of Pentacles, I get them stepping out for a minute, deciding like, I don't have to run the show on every little aspect. So on this one, I'm stepping out. I'm going to let them figure it out on their own. This person probably has a lot going on and just they're stretched thin, and this is what they need to do. So this seems to be where things start to go a little awry. When this happens, things change dramatically in this situation, and I feel like I'm very close to this person I don't really care for. I feel like I get a lot more connected, or I have to deal with them a lot more than I really want to. I don't feel like I want this to happen. I don't like this. Whoever this other person is, they seem to try to take control. And I see that your energy might go right against that, and you might take control. These energies are very interesting. Because the King of Fire and the Queen of Air can get along, but sometimes they don't. They can be opposites. It depends on how they're coming in. If they both want control, then, and if they're not going the same direction, it's not going to work. And I'm getting like, if both of you try to take control, it's going to end up in calamity. It doesn't have to go that way. Because I feel like it just becomes a battle of who can hold the most strength here. I think technically you would win out, but I don't feel like if Aries does that, where does that go? I feel like it's exhausting. It's not that you can't do it. I just feel like ultimately I really don't want it. Is that King of Pentacles? Is that the 2? Yeah, it's the 2. Pentacles. The 2? Yep. King of Pentacles reversed, I don't want it. Empress reversed, I don't want it. You don't have to do that. I keep getting I don't want it. If I start doing that, I feel like I have to keep doing that, and I don't want it. You don't have to do that. You're not forced into that. Another version of this, which will work out. Okay, let's just see what it's going to get. Because I'm looking at these cards, and I'm like, okay. I keep getting it's going to work out. Especially because you got this. Like, this can work. They're saying this can work. We'll see what happens. This is something. Trying to get along with this energy that I feel like you already know you don't like. And I'm like, okay. Okay. Also acknowledging internally, you really don't like it. But it's kind of like, yeah, but I don't like the other alternative where I have to take on the whole situation and run it myself. So it's kind of like getting along with the Three of Cups with somebody I don't really like, so I can share the responsibilities so it doesn't have to run my life. They're saying you can do this. You also got, again, the Judgment in your favor, not the Judgment, the Justice card. Things can be worked out. It may take a little bit of finessing that really I feel like I don't really want to do, but you can do. It's crossing this bridge to get the outcome you need for a better life. This is a lot. This is a lot. This is a lot. I feel like there's something like for the example that I'm seeing, there's splitting up of responsibilities, and kind of like there's splitting up of responsibilities and just not having to deal with this person directly any more than actually possible. I don't think they really want to deal with you directly either. So if you start splitting up the possibilities, I feel like they're willing to do that, but they also want to make it so like you don't have conflict. So that way, if you do it this way and you split up the responsibilities, they're going to work to try to make it be conducive with you too, so that you can keep doing it that way, where they do their thing, you do your thing, and you just got to make sure in the important parts it links up and it matches where it's supposed to match. I don't know that they like. How do they feel about you? Just let's be honest. What is it? How do they feel about Aries? I'm not really thinking they find you stressful. They find you stressful, and they don't really like getting too involved with you. They do find you stressful, which in this situation can go to your advantage, because by splitting up the responsibilities, they just know as long as they do what they need to do and it's compatible where it needs to be compatible, you'll leave them alone, they can leave you alone, and it can be fine. They don't. I get this Five of Swords, like they can work with you. They don't really want to, but they can. There might be, you both might feel the same way about each other, which I don't know. I feel like that's fine. There's a lot. There's so much with this reading. They will let it be. They will adapt to the way you're doing. As long as it gets done right, as long as it is effective, as long as it works. They got the transformation. They got the journey by moonlight. They got, what's this last one? Voyage of the heart. They want to work together with you, but at a distance. They want to be compatible. I feel like they feel the same way about you that you do about them. Like, I feel like neither of you really want to work together, but feel like you need to be in the play nice category. So whatever you're doing, it's like you're doing the best you can with it. They do seem to feel the same way about you that you feel about them. And if it goes this way, they're going to get used to it, and they're going to keep doing it that way. I don't see this being a problem long term. I just find it very interesting with the outcome here. Take it through the moment. Keep it more segregated off to where you're not completely working together any more than you have to. That's what I'm getting with the desert passage. Take it by the moment with the navigating by the stars. It's kind of like, while it works well, go with it as long as it works well. When it gets a little itchy, scratchy, deal with it as carefully as you can. You're going to do it your way. You're going to be, you know how you are. You have to come forward with the truth. You got to say it the way you got to say it. Just do your best to have tact. That'll be good enough. If you just put in the effort, that'll be good enough. Are you going to be sticky sweet? Probably not. But I feel like Aries knows, but I feel like y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, you could say stuff in a way that you know is abrasive, or you could say stuff in a way that you think is nice. And maybe other people don't think it's nice, but people know when you're making the effort, and that's what makes the difference. Take it with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? I feel like y'all know what I mean. Like, if you want to be abrasive, you can do that. And you know how to do that if you want to be. And I understand that because I feel some of you are going to be like, yeah, I thought I said, there's been many a time when you thought you said something in a nice tone or in a nice way, and then later people complained that you were this, that, or too abrupt or too abrasive or whatever, and you thought you were being nice. Don't worry about that in this situation. Just try to be nice. Just try. Just all you have to do is try. It'll be fine. That's all. And then this outcome, you'll be surprised. This energy is going to be more compatible. They want to get along with you. They do find you stressful. Even though they want to get along with you, I still feel like they feel the same way about you you do about them. I don't think they want to work with you, but they want to get along with you. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Like, they don't really want to do things with you directly, but they'd like to be on good terms with you. They'd like the things to be smooth and okay. And the longer it goes, especially, I feel like this energy, whoever it is, they know when you're trying to make the effort. Maybe to them you're still abrasive, but they know when you're making the effort to say things a little bit more kind, a little bit more, like, you're only going to go so far with that stuff. Like, let's be honest. The normal Aries energy I get, like, you're only going to go so far with that anyway, but they understand when you're making the effort. Just go with it. That's what I'm getting. It can be a really good outcome. I keep looking at this and like, am I missing something? It's such a weird outcome for the way this reading has gone. There's healing here. The Four of Swords came up, and the High Priestess right side up. Like, it's things, you'd be surprised how good this can get. This can go a lot better than expected, especially when you and this other side get used to each other the way it's going. It goes a lot better than expected. I feel like I'm completely shocked at how good this gets. Again, there's like this disconnect, and we don't do things directly together. Again, they don't want to work directly with you. They do want to get along with you, though. And I don't think you want to work directly with them. I don't know if you care about getting along with them. I really don't know. I'm not really concerned about that for some reason. That's not really even coming into focus, so I don't know. I guess that's up to you if you actually do want to get along with them or not. I don't really feel it at the moment, so maybe. Maybe. It's such an odd outcome. Like, for the way this feels, it's saying it's a really great outcome and this may show up later, but the way it feels right now, it's kind of like that's totally not expected in my opinion. But it hitting that part where it gets to a really good place, why not? If it can end up there, why not let it end up there? Why not? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.